Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and heartlessness was on display last night with Democrats, with rhinos, before, during, and after Trump's speech to the joint session of Congress. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please check that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@ExplainAmerica. And when you get there, please hit subscribe absolutely free. It really helps us out. You know, one of the most touching, beautiful parts of the night was our new young secret agent, or Secret Service agent, Special Agent DJ, who was sworn in by Sean Curran, the new head of the Secret Service. He was sworn in last night during the speech to the joint session of Congress. A little 13-year-old boy, 6 brain cancer surgeries, survived against all odds. A tough fighter. Everybody with a heart stood and cheered for this young man. That is, everybody on the Republican side of the aisle. The Democrats, they all sat there. Not even a clap, not even an acknowledgement of this young man. It was horrific. I cried. I cried when he hugged Sean Curran. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care. So what? It was a beautiful, touching moment. I'm not a crier per se, but this was off the charts beautiful. The thought occurred to me. When you're looking at a child who was raised in a home where there's a lot of love, because the child is loving, and that's what I saw on display. I saw a kid that must come from an exemplary home. You could see his father. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful. And Democrats should be damned ashamed of themselves for how they handled that situation. But even worse was Nicole Wallace saying, she was moved by it. Nicole Wallace on MSNBC sitting there next to Rachel Maddow. She was moved by it. But she had to take a shot at Trump. And how did she do it? She used the kid to take a shot at Trump, and people are now calling for her to be fired all over the internet. What'd she say? She said that she hopes he doesn't have to face a mob like January 6th, and then, I can't say the word, but then off himself like some of those officers did. Talking about a 13-year-old kid. Absolutely abhorrent. Abhorrent. I want you guys to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
I mean, the facts are probably few and far between, but I think that's the point, right? Like those of us covering this, we come on the air to do our shows, and the point is there's so much. So let's just stick with DJ. I mean, I think that if there was a moment where your whole body could relax and you could celebrate someone, it was the 13-year-old cancer survivor who would like to be a police officer. It was a genuinely beautiful moment, in the moment that probably was most familiar to the State of the Union addresses we were both a part of. Problem is, in the beauty of that child is the tragedy of the Trump presidency. Because we don't know how he survived pediatric cancer, but it is likely he benefited from some sort of cancer research. And it is a fact that Trump has slashed cancer research. It's a fact. By eliminating NIH and by all the cuts, pediatric cancer trials are halted. And God willing, he won't need any more treatment. But if he does, I hope that NIH wasn't responsible for anything that let him live this long. He also talked about wanting anyone who murdered a cop to receive the death penalty. But Donald Trump's first action was to pardon all of the January 6th insurrectionists who assaulted and violently beat cops.
Who were convicted of it.
Correct. So I think there's a shallowness, and I think that I know you, and I know you probably could have gone on for another 30 minutes with the fact check, and it's vital, and we have to do it. But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Lawrence, we're about 3 minutes out from what we're expecting to be the Democratic response from Senator Alyssa Slotkin. Let me